I have been involved with diabetes for almost all my academic life. I did not found EASD, but I was one of the founding members, and I was 28 or 29, yeah. So I've been very lucky to be in the small group of people who decided to create this EASD.
When it was founded by, amongst others, Albert Renaud and Pierre Lefebvre, it was like a bit of a kind of friends club. They felt that it was necessary, that it would be useful and important for diabetes research to have some sort of a European network rather than a fragmented national effort in diabetes research, which was kind of visionary for the time. If you think about it, this was long before the creation of the European Union. What they were looking for was a kind of network of researchers, both basic research and clinical research in diabetes across the European continent.
Immediately came the issue, should we make a federation of existing association or to do something at an individual level? And this has been the right decision to make an association of individuals interested by diabetes. A group of people which became larger and larger, having a common interest of better understanding what diabetes is. And for that, there have been two main tools. One is the annual congresses, and the second is to have a journal dedicated only to the research on diabetes, and this is the journal Diabetologia.
They put money in to start some courses for young diabetes workers, both in clinical research and basic research, and this ended up with my colleague Philip Halban developing the ESFD, which is now a major grant awarding body, and that all stemmed from that. And the EASD started to get more interested in the rest of the world as well, started collaborating with the ADA, putting out guidelines, which we'd resisted doing before that because that wasn't really research. But it's spread out into the bigger arena while still remaining a research-based organization.
But I think I can safely say that EASD is considered the principal international diabetes research meeting every year. And it's a kind of must for everybody to go to.
Well, it's been a history of utter and absolute success. I joined right in the halftime of the whole running time of this long movie series, which are EASD annual meetings. And even during the communist times, and I come from Poland, which until 1989 we were living in the dark times of a communist era, so I can fully assess how EASD was crucial and valuable also for helping us behind Iron Curtain to be present in this international dialogue in terms of improving diabetes care, diabetes research.
I remember my first presentation to the EASD, which was in Warsaw, and where the EASD had a meeting long before walls had come down. I was reprimanded by one of my seniors afterwards for being mildly intoxicated whilst giving my presentation, and that actually had a long-running aftermath in that I met a group from Aarhus in Denmark in a nightclub, drinking vodka, and ended up going there with the British Council and starting a very long collaboration with the diabetes group from Aarhus.
For sure, I remember when I presented for the first time, I was very excited then. It was in 1996, during the 32nd annual meeting of EASD, and I presented there. I was very active in the field of patient education, and I presented on structured patient education. I was so excited.
I think one of the enormous changes since then is realizing that patients live 7 days a week, etc., with their diabetes. As a doctor, you see them 4 times a year for 10 minutes, and the patient is obviously the person who can or should be able to control it.
We are collaborating more with patients' organization. We see ourselves as a bit of an advocate as well. So being an association which has been purely scientific, this is how it has been set up in 1960s, 70s, and this is how it has been seen.
One more thing that the EASD has been instrumental of, and this is the creation of the European Diabetes Forum. The European Diabetes Forum is another non-profit organization based in Brussels. There is another important action that the EASD has initiated, and that is to try speaking directly and engaging the young investigators. The EASD Academy is an incredible opportunity because there is no research without young people.
I felt a strong feeling of partnership, support, and empowering actually of young researchers around Europe.
It was really instrumental to improve my research skills and reinforce my desire to pursue a career in the diabetes field.
EASD has been functioning as a bridge between clinicians and basic researchers, as well as young researchers and established researchers and academy and industry, for them to be able to share their expertise and for them to collaborate and develop new tools and therapies for diabetes. During the first year of my postdoc, I applied for the Rising Star Fellowship Program, and I received this award.
The biggest breakthrough.
The United Kingdom Prospective Diabetes Study.
Continuous glucose monitoring systems.
Small things like insulin pens.
We're just at the beginning, especially with the development of these new drugs.
The breakthroughs happened for the last 60 years, but we've seen the accumulation of them in the last decade.
I am convinced we are going towards prevention and cure of diabetes in all of its forms. And I hope I will see it in my lifetime.
It brings the really nerdy scientists, the clinicians, the pharma, even people living with diabetes together at the sessions, but also during the breaks, during the dinners and all the things that are around the EASD together and develop new clinical relevant projects. That has really been inspiring for me for the recent years, and it will definitely in the future as well.
Without EASD, the fight against diabetes would be a more lonely fight. I think the EASD is really the place where we all come together and where we create synergy in this fight. And that to me is the strength of EASD.
Words to describe the EASD. Transformative.
Universal.
Success.
Empowering.
Support.
Academic.
Independence.
Place to come together.
Modern.
Partner.
Excitement.
Network.
Friendship.
Scientific rigor.
Good science, good colleagues, and fantastic interaction.